administrator of each the meeting notice on the public bulletin board of all members. I direct the secretary to enter into the minutes of this meeting, the advance written notice of this meeting, and this statement. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mike Sika,
Here.
Rich Chanelos,
Here.
Jeanette Larison,
Here.
Harry Delgado, Michael Drulis.
Here.
Next line. Joe Zanga,
Here.
Mayor Heck, Glenn Kurtz, Leon Sokol,
Here.
Scott Recant,
He was here a minute ago. I don't know what happened to him. Here he is.
He's still there. Yeah.
Waving.
He's
Joe Manzo is in flight, Donna Setzer,
Here.
James Gote,
Here.
Louis Gote,
Here.
Sean Kelly,
Here.
Dominic Sinelli. Susan Bridge, I believe, is for him. Is she here? Yeah.
Yes, I am. Sorry about that.
No problem. Robin Rassiopi,
Here.
Karen Waters,
Here.
Sean Walsh,
Here.
and I believe Mr. Cradaville is here as well.
looks like Mayor Heck might be joining us. And I also see that Tom Kurtz is here.
Yes, I asked him to sit in. All right, Chair.
Okay. All right, so
And just, Charlie, so I'm aware, is that your other line signed in as 9697?
Yeah, that's me. Okay.
Thank you.
okay, first order of business, there was minutes in the packet that require approval from the December 21st, 22 meeting. Can I have a motion in a second?
Motion, Joe.
Second, Michael.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Mayor Heck, is he muted? Joe
Yeah.
Zanga,
Yes.
Rich Lamos,
Yes.
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes.
Okay.
Next, we have the administrator's report.
Yes, Chair, in the packets, this month, distributed, for your review, is the loss run analysis through the end of, January, or actually up till February 22nd, 2023. Broken down by, line of coverage: automobile physical damage, auto liability, general liability, property, and workers' comp. 2023 is still very young. We got 52,800 in claims. 2022, 2,734,078. 2021 is the one with the big hit with the hurricane of 9,561,967, and 2020 of 4,700,094,746. So the early years are still young. 2021 is a year we're going to definitely have to watch moving forward with respects to the claims. As you can see, workers' comp down here is also tailing high. Behind that, I've included two additional reports for the commissioner's review. This is a report basically that shows claims paid, and I'll distribute these monthly. These are claims paid in January of 2023, posted against each individual loss year, and this will be important moving forward with respects to dealing with the deficit and the deficit budget. It's broken down by year, what years are active, what years we're making claim payments on. The first report is in the general claim unit. paid for January of $1,567,003. Of which that includes a big IDA payment that we got reimbursed for on reinsurance. Behind that report is basically a same snapshot, but it's only for the years that would be inclusive of those deficit years. So against the deficit of $654,490. Again, we did it workers' comp system on a Qualcare system, total paid in January of 507, 682 and 97 cents. And then broken down 4 years, 2020 prior. As you can see, we have active years going all the way back to 1997 of 148,052. So just to give you guys an update of where we're going and what each claim payment and what year is currently active. So.
Okay.
I'm letting additional people in.
Yep. Yeah, I think Harry is.
I don't need it. Well, I'll take it off later. So what do I? So
Please mute
you
yourself,
actually hear
whoever
me?
that is. Oh, yeah.
okay, I'm happy to mute myself. I just got on so I could hear you and you could hear me. Okay.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't know
muting.
if you were speaking. Okay. No, I thought you were. Sorry, Scott. I thought you were
Scott, you
doing something
re-signed in
else.
on a different. You're in twice, Scott?
I might be on my phone. I'm gonna disconnect from my phone. I'm gonna leave the meeting from my phone.
Okay, no problem.
I want to act like I was Charlie.
We have, what is the anonymous? Looks like, is that? Looks like anonymous is trying to connect to audio. I don't know who that is.
I guess they don't have to identify themselves. It was decided at the last meeting, correct? All right, in addition, Chair, to that report, I gave you a breakdown of the deficit contributions and collections to date. With respects, this is an update through basically yesterday. Just to let the commissioners know, we received in 2023 collections from Monroe. Their 10%, Boundbrook paid their 10% and sent their resolution. North Brunswick Board of Ed paying 100% and Dunellen Parking Authority paying 10%. So that is considered. Also,
Glenn, do we have the total of how much has been paid?
well, this is something that the total that I'm booking here of $2,130,057 includes the MCUA, which I believe you wanted to discuss later on in the agenda.
Okay. Any questions or comments regarding any of that information?
I just want to commend Mr. Kurtz. I appreciate his attention to these details in this report. This is very helpful information to us as we move forward. So thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Mike. The other item for consideration and at the direction of council, the JIF needs to set up a separate trust account with respects to excess reinsurance payments. I believe I attached their signature card, so I just need official authorization to get it set up, and Jeanette, yourself, and Mr. Monzo are typically the signatures on that account, so.
Okay. So do we need a motion to formally approve that?
Correct.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the opening of a new account to maintain the separate funds for the supplemental
motion.
assessments?
Second, Harry.
That was Joe Zanga moved,
Yes.
Yes.
Harry second. Mike Sika,
Yes.
Mayor Heck,
Yes.
Joe Zanga,
yes,
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Mike Julis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes.
Just for clarification, Madam Chairwoman, the account we're opening is to hold the balance of the excess, the 1.88 million in excess.
Oh,
that
okay,
we
thank you.
collected, for the MCUA from Chubb. And based upon the court decision, until this matter is resolved in litigation, they've directed that the unpaid portion be held in a separate account
Okay,
as a constructive trust, and as the litigation proceeds to a final determination.
thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that. Okay, moving on, we have the managed care, Donna.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chair. For the month of January, we received 205 bills. Only 4 were out of network, giving us the network utilization 98%. Charges were quite high this month, $1,183,756.58. They were approved to pay $306,604.67 for a savings of $877,151.91, which is 74% from charges. There were 12 injuries that were called in, all required treatment. And it appears that most of the injuries, or I should say the total charges, came from one claimant, quite a bad, I guess, motor vehicle accident. Must have had some surgeries that caused our charges to be so high. But if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the finance report. So I spoke with Mr. Monzo, and unfortunately, or fortunately for him, he was out of town, so that we will not have a finance report today. So moving on to safety and loss control. One of the Mr. Gotes, please.
Mr. Gote wants to chime in. Other than that, the regular loss run reports are in the packages.
Yes, good afternoon. This February, we conducted confined space entry training in South River. We scheduled some additional training in March in South River, bloodborne fall protection and hazard communications. And we're in the process of contacting the various members to get the right to know surveys conducted. That concludes my report. If you have any questions, thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Gote?
On that note, with respects to the OSHA logs, Jim, have you gotten any further feedback? I know Mr. Zanga had an issue at the last meeting. And any of the existing members having any other issues with respects to posting the OSHA logs?
I'd like Lewis to be the one to respond to the issue with South River, which we took care of promptly. Lewis?
Yes, I spoke with Mr. Zanga, and we discussed his concerns in regards to the OSHA 300 log, and I believe that everything was taken care of. And just as I think the main thing is there's a box to the right that just needed to be filled out. That was one of the things. That's all on the OSHA 300A log. If there's any other questions.
Any other questions? All right, great. Moving right along. Old business.
Chair, I only have 2 items under old business, and one actually we can discuss later under 13 with respects to members in default. in dealing with the members who have since paid their contribution to the deficit. The other item is the 2023 risk management plans that we are wrapping up and will go out once they're finalized. But that would be your basic coverage manual that will give everybody an outline of their particular coverage and deductibles and all that. So that will be going out next week.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other old business that they'd like to bring up? Hearing none, moving on to new business. We have any new business? Hearing none, we'll move on to audience comments. Does anybody from the audience like to make a comment?
Yeah, Charlie Cradaville, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Hey, good afternoon, commissioners. I heard the word litigation today, and I just want to clarify, does that mean that there's one or more former members that have brought a civil action against the JIF?
I'll
No,
leave Leon to handle that.
Yeah, Charlie, the only action that was brought was by the MCUA in their capacity as a member in 2022, challenging the fact that a portion of the excess insurance claim was used to pay their obligation to the assessments. And that's under challenge in the court.
Got it. So that'd be a Superior Court case in Middlesex County?
Yes, Superior Court in Middlesex County.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. I also wanted to get an update on the matter of McCoy versus Fleming. I received some records that seem to indicate the JIF is going to pay another $10,000 for the legal defense of Councilman Glenn Fleming in New Brunswick, and then cut off the representation, cut off the funding of his legal defense. Is that fair to say? Is that correct? What the decision was?
So, Charlie, it's Scott, I'll answer that. And we sent you the letter that we sent to Councilman Fleming. And I mean, I think not to get all lawyerly, but I mean, the letter I think stands on its own. I think you could read it that way, but that's that's what the commissioners has decided. And then that letter was issued to the councilman.
Okay, thanks for clarifying, and appreciate the record. Speaking of records, I had requested a couple of resolutions from the last meeting. I know you went into a closed session, you came back and you adopted a resolution regarding MCUA and the members in default. I sent that request to Mr. Glenn Kurtz on January 11th, and he wrote back, said he got it, and said, quote, "Once I get the executed copy back, I will forward over." I have not yet received those. What's the holdup in providing these resolutions?
Charlie, I will get them over to you today. That was my fault.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate the honest
public.
response. I will note that the JIF's website is somewhat out of date. You do update it with the Zoom links for the new meetings, but anybody who wanted to go back and look at what took place at recent meetings, by reviewing minutes, would be out of luck for everything after your July 27th meeting. There have been no meeting minutes updated, and of course, the resolutions from January are not on the site. So I wouldn't have to bother Mr. Kurtz to get these records if they were just posted timely to the website, but I'll look forward to receiving them today. And I also have to follow up on the Open Public Records Act request that I filed that was mentioned before A letter was provided, in response to my January 27th request. And I again thank Mr. Recant for that. But I'll note that I had requested much more. And thus far, I was told that the invoices cannot be produced at this time because they have to be reviewed and redacted because of privileged or protected information. And I was told on January 30th that information about the invoices may take another 2 weeks until it may be provided. We are now in excess of 3 weeks after that, and I've received no further communication. So I wanted to ask when I'll be getting the invoices that were requested pursuant to
So
Oprah.
Charlie, I guess going into that, Scott, other than to tell you soon, I think that we're looking at this, and I think in the end, we started to redact, and then in terms of conversation with counsel as to privileged communication, what I'm going to get you will end up being basically just the dates, the invoice numbers, and the total amounts paid. There'll be no descriptions, and because while the case is pending, it could reveal privileged communications or attorney thought process or lots of other aspects. So there's always this fine line in terms of being descriptive in the bills, but not revealing things. So we need to maintain that confidentiality until the need for that has passed. But I expect, since I will try and get it to you this week, but next week should be no problem.
Okay. And thank you for the honest answer. I must say, though, it's not good enough to say that you'll get them soon, because Oprah has a timeline provision on it. So response is required within 7 business days. You provided that response, but did not provide all of the records. And so there is an opportunity you have to ask for an extension. It was not so much a ask as stating, quote, information about the invoices may take another 2 weeks until it may be provided. And, given that Oprah has that statutory timeline, I think it's really more appropriate to give a timeline and say, we request an extension until X date, and then make sure that you communicate again before that date expires, just to comply with the Oprah. So I do need, sooner rather than later, a timeline for specifically when they'll be produced, a date certain. And if you need an extension, I'm happy to grant one. I understand that, you're dealing with some, issues that perhaps hadn't come up before. So I understand. And I would just say that if you're going to redact every piece of information aside from the amounts, then that should be quite easy and shouldn't take this long. One thing if you're redacting a word or a sentence here or there, but if you're just going to give me the amounts and the sort of letterhead of the invoice, then I should be able to get that information quickly. The main reason I'm requesting this is I'd like to know how much has been spent so far. So I'm curious if anybody can give me an approximate ballpark figure of how much has been spent on this particular case, and that's my final question.
I think that the delay was trying to look and see if if the invoices could be provided in a more detailed way, with like the dates and the time and the amount of time spent without the descriptions. So that's what we were sort of wrestling with, instead of trying to provide at least some sort of more information than just, here are the 5 invoices and here's the amount spent for each invoice. So
Charlie, am I understanding you correctly that if we simply give you a summary of the dates of each invoice and the amount billed, that would be sufficient?
I'm suggesting that would be defensible. I'd have to see the documents myself to confirm if I'm satisfied with what I've received. But I will note that this request stems from a prior request where I had asked for just really the total cost, the one number. And, I believe I was told I couldn't get that, or there was not a substantive response to that inquiry, which was made multiple times. And so I filed an Oprah request to get the bills to put that number together myself, since it wasn't provided based on a non-Oprah courtesy request. So, you know, I would have settled for a single number back in December, but you know, now I've filed an Oprah request, which, you know, now that I've invoked that law, I want to ensure that the JIF complies with the law. So I'll review what's provided and take it from there. But I just you know, clamoring for more transparency here.
Well, just to clarify it, if we get you the amount billed on a monthly basis and the total, would that be sufficient so that we don't have to worry about disclosing privileged information? And we can get that to you very quickly.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. If it can be provided this week, I would, you know, at least for now, be satisfied with just the amount of each bill and the date of each bill and the biller, whoever the attorney is that submitted it, and that would be, you know, satisfactory for now, because I understand it's ongoing, and you know, you feel that some of the information is privileged. You know, again, I was just really seeking the number to begin with, and kind of, you know, my hand was forced because it wasn't provided when I just asked nicely for it.
Yeah, but that'll satisfy you. But I just want to make sure that we both understand each other. By giving you this, that'll satisfy your Oprah request, right?
I think it would be satisfactory to the Oprah that's been filed at this time. I would, of course, reserve the right to request the bills at a future date, you know, perhaps after the trial's concluded and you know, a decision, you know, a verdict has been rendered, and perhaps more stuff would be public. But yeah, at this time, I'm seeking the information about the costs, and that's
Okay.
really the.
All right, Charlie, I will
what I
endeavor to get you the invoices and the amounts this week by close of business Friday.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the dialogue, and appreciate the commissioners giving me the time to talk today. I hope everybody has a great day.
Thanks, you too. Anyone else have any comments?
I do.
Okay.
My name is Steve. I'm from Middlesex County. I'd like to know if the JIF is going to cover towns or municipalities when they are sued for blocking or banning people on Facebook. Per the First Amendment, New Jersey State Constitution, and Van Wagner versus Yady, it's been proven that it's a civil rights violation, and to not allow the public to speak on a government public forum is a violation, and they could be sued for it. I also point out Bronco versus Carteret, which proved the mayor's Facebook in that municipality is a government page, and is I'm currently blocked on that page. And I'd also like to know why this meeting's not in person since COVID's completely over.
So, Steve, to answer the bulk of your questions, whether there's coverage or not will be addressed when a member of the fund who has coverage provided by the fund submits a claim, and a coverage determination is made at that time.
So even though that there's stare decisis on the fact that people are allowed to comment and post on a Facebook page that's owned by the government, you still perhaps might cover them?
We only make determinations of coverage when the actual claim is submitted for coverage, and we then see whether or not it's covered by the insurance policy.
Have any municipalities ever submitted claims previously?
We'd have to review our records and get back to you on it.
What's the is the Oprah email address up on the Facebook or up on the page on the website?
Yes.
It is. Okay. And why isn't this meeting not in person?
There's no reason. The determination by the commissioners is to continue for the time being doing it this way.
COVID's over.
Thank you for letting us know that COVID is over.
So the public has a right to be there in person and question you guys, and be able to force any parliamentary procedure that might be going on that might not be right, which you're kind of lacking in doing in this impersonal way on Zoom meetings.
We believe, sir, that the conducting the meetings in the current way is appropriate and legal.
It's appropriate that the people can't go there in person to question their government.
Sir, I think I've answered your question.
I don't think you did.
I-
All right, so I'll
if I
also be
can-
asking, excuse me?
I'm sorry. This is Donna from Quallings. I attend many other JIF meetings, and Middlesex JIF is not the only one who does Zoom meetings. They do meet occasionally in person, as they did prior to COVID, but there are still a lot of the JIF meetings that still continue to have the meetings via Zoom. It is on public notice when it's sent out that the Zoom meeting is, it will be a Zoom meeting as opposed to a in-person meeting.
Well, I know it is, but the public has a right to be able to be there in person. I salute you guys for having it on Zoom, but at the same time, it should be on Zoom and it should be in person. That way people can actually go there and question their government. I mean, you don't think that would be an appropriate
Through the chair, Madam Chair, we appreciate Stephen's comments and we will definitely take them under advisement.
Okay, and then I believe Charlie Cradaville was asking for attorney invoices. I'll be asking for those as well, and I won't be as patient in asking for those.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.
You too. Anyone else? Okay, we have a bill list from
Yeah, Chair,
January
This
30th.
is the ratification of the
Mhm.
January bill list, so.
Yes. So do we need an all in favor? How do we handle that one, Glenn? All in favor or just do you need a motion?
You could take a motion to. start your
Okay.
own.
Okay, can I get a motion for the bill list? For the memorialization of the bill list from January 30th?
Motion,
Joe.
Michael.
Second, Joe.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Mayor Heck,
Yes.
Joe Zanga,
Yes.
Harry Delgado, you still here?
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Mike Trulis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes. Okay, and then I guess we'll take a motion to go into closed session for claims review and potential litigation.
Motion, Joe.
Second, Michael.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Mayor Heck. Joe Zanga,
Yes.
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Mike Trulis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes.
Okay, let's see,
And will you guys be coming back from the closed session?
yes, we will.
Okay.
When would you like us to drop off?
Yeah, there's nothing, you can drop, James.
Okay. Wish everyone a good day.
Thanks, you too, James.
Have a good day, everyone. Good to see you.
Take care, Louis.
Leon, you're good with the risk managers in here, right? They're all
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You still have Charlie in here.
No, Charlie should not be in the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta,
Correct.
move one of them.
that I
All right,
Recording in
Charlie's
progress.
So. you wanna
Okay.
take Reserves first.
Yes, so let's approve the reserves for the claims. Can I get a motion?
I'll move it.
That's Harry,
Yes.
Second, Michael Drillis.
Michael Drulis. Mike Sika,
Yes.
Mayor Heck,
Yes.
Joe Zanga,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes. Okay, we have a couple of resolutions that we have up for consideration. Glenn, do you want to give us a little explanation of what you got there?
I believe Scott, did we lose him completely, or Leon? The
No, he's
first
there. Yeah.
Resolution dealing with the MCUA.
So
Yeah.
what was present, I'm sorry, go ahead, Leon.
Right, if you're back, Scott, you can do it. 'Cause you were-
All right, what was presented to you is a resolution acknowledging that the court has directed that the funds that we had deducted from the MCUA IDA claim be set aside in a constructive trust. And because of this, the MCUA is no longer, they're now in default on their payment of the 2021 supplemental assessment. They're now in default of the 5% penalty for leaving early. And because even though they have paid the 10% on December 1st, they have not acknowledged that they're in the payment plan or that they intend to make future payments. So that position is inconsistent with the pay over time portion of the August 30th, 2020 resolution, which would put them in default of their obligations under the 2001 to 2020 supplemental assessment. It would then, you would then recognize that they're in default and direct the staff or council to report this default to the Department of Banking and Insurance and the Department of Community Affairs.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll move it.
Harry,
Second.
Michael. Mike Sika,
Yes.
Mayor Heck,
Yes.
Joe Zanga,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Mike Drulis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes. Now, is there a second resolution?
I don't know if I need a resolution or just authorization with respects to the payments from the 4 members who did make payment to notify DOBI that payment is received and are no longer in default.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I don't think you need do you need, well, we did a resolution to authorize them in default.
true.
So we probably do need one to say that they're no longer in default.
Okay.
You know, it could be done administratively, but.
Okay.
But if you want belt and suspenders, then you can do a resolution now that just says that the department, having previously been advised that they were in default as of January 11th, based upon the subsequent payments, the department should be advised that they're no longer in default.
Okay. Why don't we do that? Just way we have a paper trail of that. So can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second. Go ahead.
Mike Sika,
Yes.
Mayor Heck,
Yes.
Joe Zanga,
Yes.
Harry Delgado,
Yes.
Ricardo Lanos,
Yes.
Michael Drulis,
Yes.
Jeanette Larison.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. And then just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion,
I'll take
Joe.
that one. The second.
Joe, Harry, all aye.
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 Opposed?
Thank you,
Have
folks.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Everyone.
See you next month.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.